we're going to be creating a monoprint, mono meaning one, kind of like making a stamp that will only work one time, using these materials today: a ziploc bag, washable markers or water-soluble markers, and some sort of water spray bottle. Of course, we're going to need paper as well. The higher quality paper you use, the better. And some other things that you might need will be a Kleenex and some Lysol wipes. We're going to start by choosing a few colors of markers to work with. Analogous colors are going to work the best. Colors that are neighbors on the color wheel are going to blend really well together. Colors that are across the street are enemies, as I like to say. You can also think about it in terms of warm colors or cool colors. I'm going to be using cooler colors today, so I have chosen raspberry or magenta, blue, and violet. It's careful, or you need to be careful not to lose the caps, so I like to put them on the back, but whatever works for you will be fine. Now you're going to fill this bag up with your markers. You can go up and down, across, diagonally. You can start with circles in the middle and radiate out. I think that's what I'm going to do. Start with a circle. You want to go pretty quickly. This is not something that needs to be perfect, where you're coloring really carefully. Of course, you don't want it to be too scribbly, so find that Goldilocks right in the middle. I'm going to go from purple to blue to magenta and back again. You might notice that the colors beat up a little into kind of like raindrop sort of pattern, but just do the best that you can, and if you notice that your marker is too dry, then go ahead and get another one. Sometimes when I'm using my markers, I forget to put them back in the bin, but we're going to need to be sharing these, so just be aware of where all your markers are, keep track of them. If they fall on the ground, pick them back up. If the cap rolls away, keep an eye on it. I'm going to speed this up and show you what it looks like when it's finished. Alright, it's time to activate our marker with a little bit of water. I'm using the spritz bottle, which it helps to hold it upright because there's this tube that collects the water at the bottom. So if you're holding it upside down, it won't be able to get any water. Of course, you don't want to get too close or too far away. I find it helpful to kind of put my opposite hand kind of floating above my Ziploc bag, and then I put my other hand on top of it. But this is kind of like a science experiment. You're going to slowly spritz. However much water you add will change what happens with the colors. In general, I try to avoid puddles, although I already have a couple, and I try to get more raindrops looking, but I think I'm going to go ahead and create my print. I have water everywhere. It's going to be messy, but that's okay. Kind of already looks cool. I'm going to take this paper. Well, I'm going to try to line it up nicely. Don't worry too much about making a mistake. Then plop it down, and it's time to give your paper a massage. If you give it a beating, it's not going to work as well. You need to be gentle and give it a massage from top to bottom and side to side. And some of the color leaks through every single time. I've made quite a few today, and my hands are showing it. But don't worry, it'll wash off with some water later on. Alright, let's see what happens. I'm pulling my print, and it does look like I used a little bit too much water, but the effect is pretty cool. I used more cool colors, and it has this kind of galaxy happening. So I'm going to take this to the drying rack. Don't forget to put your name on it. If you forgot to put it on the back like I did, you can stop and put it along this edge. Just use a pencil for now. If you want to make some more, but you only have one bag, I find it helpful to keep some Kleenex nearby. And if there's already water onto my bag, then I can just wipe this right off. If the marker has already dried, then you can just spritz it again. So first I'm going to go around the edges because that's where most of the marker is. And then I'm going to lift the bag up and clean up underneath. You'll need to do this when you are finished as well. before you put the bag away. It's okay if it's not perfectly clean. And then the final step is I use a Lysol wipe. You can share them if you're able to. And for some reason, this marker does not erase very well, but if you give it some time, the cleaner will melt down that ink and wipe off your table pretty nicely. If you're worried though, put down some scrap paper to cover your work area. And that's it. Once you have your marker print, you can wait for it to dry and add more on top, or you can leave it just how it is. Some people prefer to make a drawing before they do the print, but have some fun, experiment with different colors. Thanks for watching.